Now, Alan, are you ready to follow up?
I am ready. Thank you, Thomas.
Right.
And hello, everyone. Alan from Enonic here with a short update about the new features you can expect in upcoming Content Studio version 3.3. I'll start off by showing you some slides that describe the new changes, and then we'll move on to the demo part to see all these changes in action. I think we're running out of time a bit, so we'll see how much we can cover. Let's start with a simple but very anticipated feature of being able to hide or deprecate content types. For example, you have some old, outdated content types you no longer wish to use, and you no longer want to see them in the new content dialog in the Content Studio. Obviously, you cannot just remove them from your application because you will no longer be able to open or preview the content based on these types. So in the new Content Studio, the content types that no longer deserve your love can be hidden with a new config object in the content types schema and a new property called allow new content, which you would set to false. Okay. Yes. Some of you are using field called DisplayName expression to automatically generate the display name of a content based on field names in the content type schema. And now we have implemented something similar in the content browse view. If you want the content grid to display composite text based on some field names in the content type schema, then you can use the new config property called list title expression, which will then dynamically generate the text based on the specified expression and show that instead of the actual display name in the content grid. All right. It looks very similar to the display name expression, but note the data prefix. You can technically combine the data fields with the actual display name, for instance, or some other fields in the root of the schema. That's why you have to use the data dot before the field name if you want to combine them. We'll see this in action in a little bit. Moving on to more complex changes, content type relations. You've asked them for it, and we have delivered. Finally, you can build parent-to-child relations between content types, which means that you can, for example, configure content type A to be parent only of content types B and C. Right? Here is an example. Note the new property called allow child content type, where you can specify the allowed, child content type. What if you want to allow more than one child content type? No problem. Just repeat the property for every content type you want to allow. And I can guess your next question as well. Can I use wildcards? Yes, of course you can. And of course you can combine static values and wildcards together as well. All right. After enabling relations between content types, we thought, hey, why don't we allow building relations between content types and page components like parts and layouts? Let's say I have some special layout which you only want to use for blog articles. Layout schema has got the new config object and the new property called allow on content type, which you can use to specify one or more content types. This layout is allowed for, and just as with the allow child content type in the previous example, you can specify several content types or use wildcards or combine the two. And of course, the same goes for the parts as well. Same config property can be used in part schemas to enable parts only for specific content types. All right. TextLine and TextArea input types have gotten a new config called show counter. Setting it to true will show the character counter underneath the field. And if you combine it with the existing max length config, then you will see how many characters you have entered and how many you have remaining. Okay. In one of the recent versions of Content Studio, we implemented a feature of marking items as ready directly in the publishing wizard. It turned out that not everyone was super happy with this, so we implemented config to turn this off. For those of you who don't know that, Content Studio app has its own config file called Enonic app content studio.cfg. So if you add a line publishing wizard.allow content update equals false to this config file, it will remove the drop down of the publish button, and you will no longer be able to mark items as ready. So it will look like this in this case. All right. There are also a few other features and improvements we have implemented, which we don't have time to cover today. We have released in the first beta of both XP 7.7 and Content Studio 3.3, and hope that you can get your hands on the release sometime next week. We will obviously document all the features that I described today and in the release notes and our developer portal. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask us in Slack or discuss or whenever and wherever you want. Okay. And now is the demo time. Okay, so let's say that I'm building a blog. And of course, I have lots of content types in it, and it looks like this, right? It's a long list, of course. And let's go in the same order that I showed it in the slides. Let's look at this content type here called remove me. We all know this icon, unfortunately, and we all want to get rid of this, and I will now show you how easy it is to get rid of something bad in the Content Studio. So you can see that I made some content based on this content type, and I obviously want to keep this content, right? But I want to remove the content type itself. So I will go here. I conveniently called it deprecate. So I will just go here and do config allow new content. And since I'm running the XP dev mode, I don't need to redeploy my app, which I suggest you do as well when you are running development. So if the demo gods are kind, then I will no longer see this content type now in the list. Okay, it's no more virus icon, right? And Jürgen is asking me to zoom, so I will zoom like this. Okay, so it is gone, and of course the content is still here. I can preview it and blah 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 and so on. It works, right? So the virus is deprecated. Good. Moving on. Okay, so in my blog I have posts, of course, obviously, and I have some authors. And if I click the post icon or post some folder and want to add a new post, then I will get obviously the entire list of content types here. Do I want it? No, I don't want it, because I only have the posts here in this folder, right? And I only have the authors here in this folder. And I want to specify that, okay, in the authors folder, I only want the authors, right? And it will be allow child content type. And I will do the macro, and I will say author here, okay? I will do the same in the posts in folder, but I will change author to post, all right? Yes, no need to deploy anything. Okay, to zoom in again, yes, right. Do I need to zoom every freaking tab? Okay, apparently. Right. And if I now add a new author, ta-da, I only get my author content type here. And if I add a new post, ta-da, I only have the post here, right? And I can obviously combine. So like if I want to, for instance, be able to create some folders here, then I will do base folder, right? And if I now go here, then I should have author and the folder, okay? Author and folder, right? So this works as well. What else did we have? Okay, I think I have not shown the counter, maybe. Okay, let's change the author content type and add the counter here. Okay, in the name, it will be the only blog where the author name is limited to 10 characters. Okay, and I will do show counter true, and I can also add the max, or that's it for now, and just show the counter. If I now open the author, okay, here's the counter, right? And I type in something, and it shows me how many characters I have. Let's add max length, just for fun. 11, I don't know why 11. Load. Okay, I can no longer enter. Well, I can, but the field will become invalid, right? Okay, text is too long. So yeah, it does let you to type ahead of the limit, but you can easily see that this field is invalid. Sure.
Can you zoom in on the code here as well?
Yes. Sorry, is it good enough?
Yeah, that's great. Cheers.
Yep. All right. I didn't show the list name expression, I think. So let's do the authors, right? Okay, so here it shows the actual display name of the author here. Let's combine this with the email, for instance. Why not? So then we will do it like this. Config list title expression, and it's gonna be data name. So let's use brackets just to combine it with the static text, and then data email. Okay. And if I now refresh my grid, then I have email in the brackets after the name. Okay. This looks good, just to show you that I'm not, there's no jinxing. I will change this to something else, right? And yeah, so I still show the value from here. Okay, it will not let me save, or it will, yeah. So if it's invalid, then it will not let me save. All right, so I guess this is what I wanted to show. I didn't show the relation between page components. We can, I don't know if we have time, Thomas.
There's about 5 minutes left, and there's no questions so far. So if it's not too long, then I think it should be fine.
No questions. All right. Okay, so let's do this one, for example, right? Let's edit some blog post. And if we now drop in some layout here, okay, and you can see that this one has 3 layouts, right? And if I open the author, for instance, and add the controller, and then add no, I cannot use this one for that because this one doesn't have a page template. Okay, what if I do just this one? Let's drop layout here. Okay, so here I also have the 3 layouts, right? And let's fix it so that 3 columns is only available in the posts. Let's try and do that. 3 columns, and this is not it. This is it. I will zoom preventively. Config allow on content type app post. Okay. So let's check we don't need this one anymore. Let's check this one first. This one. Is this correct? Couldn't be the other way around. Interesting. Should have been the other way around. So this layout is allowed on this content type, but not on this to the right. Okay. Yeah, I have to check on this, I guess. Or no, hold on. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is the site. Jeez, I was just scared for a moment here. So yeah, this is my site, and here the layout has disappeared, right? So here we only have 1 column and 2 columns now. But this is my post, and here I still have the 3 columns. Thank you. Okay, good. So this is the last thing I was about to check, and I'm sorry the confusion by this very end of the presentation. Yes, if there are any questions, I can answer them. If not, then I am done. And I thank you, and I wish you the very best of summer. Thomas?
Yeah, that's great. Really interesting to see all these new things. And we all know what happens at these demos sometimes. You mess up, and that's
the
all
thing,
right.
it's not a bug, though. Okay, so I was a bit worried.
Yeah. All right, great. I think that's all we've got for today then. So thank you very much again to both Alan and to Anders, and to all the rest of you for attending and joining us. The webinar has been recorded, and it'll show up on our YouTube channel later on this week, and you should also get it via mail. So that's all good. Pacey, have you got any parting words for us? No?
No, that was great. Thank you all. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to Enonic community and check it out.
And I think, Thomas, you've done a really good job here. It was the first time, and I think you've done brilliantly. So
thank you.
Keep on going.
Sure will.
Yeah, well done. Okay, good.
All right, friends.
Then thank you.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.